Hello. Killing it. I just did my makeup, so that's what's happening right now. I tried to film this video while I was doing my makeup, but basically I got to my eyes and I couldn't talk anymore because I didn't have anything to tell anybody. I didn't have any more words to say. We're gonna try and do this again. Let's hope it works. Hello everyone, my name is Shani. I'm sure that you know that because you're probably watching this video because you know me personally. So what's going on, friends? How's life? Today I'm going to be talking about something that has been a journey for me, to say the least. It has been a learning process, and it hasn't quite gone the way that I thought it would. I started this whole grad school process. I started thinking about it, honestly, after I graduated from college. I graduated from UNLV in 2015, and December of 2015. So I've been out of school for about a year and a half. After graduation, I kind of just started thinking about what I really wanted to do and what I wanted to spend my time doing, what I loved, what I enjoyed, and it came down to fraternity and sorority life. So I contacted my fraternity and sorority life advisor from UNLV. We had a conversation, and basically she told me that you don't have to go to grad school in order to be a fraternity and sorority life advisor. It's just a little bit harder to get a job, and I know because I've applied to jobs. Your minimum qualifications sometimes are going to be a bachelor's degree and then, anywhere from 6 months of experience to years of experience, and I don't really have that. I talked to her, and basically grad school was kind of the best option. But before I wanted to apply and spend all the money and time applying to grad school, which it costs a lot of money and takes a lot of time to do, I wanted to make sure that fraternity and sorority life advising is what I wanted. It is what I was passionate about. So I started an internship with the fraternity and sorority life office at UNR. I've just been working with them for the past year. Look at my leg. Sorry, I'm leaning on it and getting comfortable, because we're having a convo. Anyway, I started the internship and just kind of got experience. That is kind of when this whole grad school process began in August of last year, because I really started looking into schools. I probably had a list of about 20 different schools that had higher education programs, student affairs programs that I was looking into applying to. Every program is different. They all require something different. Usually, they're all fairly similar. There's just some different aspects of it that makes not every program the same. So I ended up applying to 8 different schools. I got rejection from 4. Then I got offers to interview with 4 different schools. 3 of the schools you have to have an assistantship, which is basically a job that covers tuition and pays you a monthly stipend in order to be a part of the program. So 3 of those schools I had 3 or 4 interviews with different departments on campus, and I did not get any of them. I actually went to one of the interview days, which is basically an on-campus weekend. You meet a bunch of students, you get the opportunity to take a campus tour, kind of learn a little bit more about campus, and then you do your interviews, things like that. And so I only did that because they helped fund it, which was really great. So the schools that I got interviews to but did not get an assistantship offers to were the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, Ball State University, and the University of Kansas. So actually 2 of those have amazing programs. They are really good programs. Those are the 3 schools that I got interviews for. As far as assistantship goes, I just never got an offer. The fact that I want to be a fraternity and sorority life advisor is very specific, right? And so it's kind of hard for a lot of people to apply what I've done to their departments, I feel like. Throughout this whole process, I've realized I can't be picky, right? In order to get what I want, I need to kind of not be as picky as to what job I'm doing. As long as I'm getting experience, that's really all that matters to me. The last school that I applied to and I had an admissions interview for was the University of the Pacific. It's one of the only schools on the West Coast that offers assistantships that help pay or fund anything. The University of the Pacific is a super small private university, and so not that it would be a bad experience, but they just didn't have what I was looking for, I think. I went through this whole process. The University of Kansas, since I went to interview day, it was a really positive experience for me. I got to meet a lot of people that were in the program, as well as people that were in my position, right? So they were interviewing, and they were really great. There were a lot of really nice people. I think the only thing I had with it is they made it seem like everyone going through the process was going to get an assistantship and they were going to get accepted. Obviously, there are going to be some people like myself, that were not going to get an assistantship, and I think they just made it seem like everyone would. And so I was feeling really good coming out of the weekend, and I ended up not getting one. And so I got to a certain point, and it really wasn't that long after, maybe a couple weeks. I was like, you know what, it's okay. You have to learn from the process. You know, think about the things that maybe you can improve on and use that for other interviews or other schools that you apply to. Then in April, I decided to apply to the University of Arkansas. I was on Panhellenic my senior year at UNLV. They took me to AFLV, which is it's the Association of Fraternal Leadership and Values conference that's in Indiana every year. I went there and I met a collegiate from the University of Arkansas, and she told me all about their Greek life, and it blew my mind because it was so different than UNLV. As soon as I decided I wanted to go to grad school, I started thinking about the University of Arkansas. In my mind, I think I just made it to be this like amazing school that had this amazing Greek life, and so I never thought I could really get in. So in April, I found out that their application deadline was not until June, which is very rare. A lot of schools, your application deadline is usually December, January, maybe February at the latest. And so I decided to apply because I still had time, and there was always still an option to get an assistantship if they had some available. I applied. I did get accepted. They don't require you to have an assistantship, but like I said, it was really important for me to get an assistantship, especially in higher education. I think having an assistantship is half of the battle. I did an interview with admissions. I actually moved on to the second round of interviews with them, and I did not get it because I don't really know why. I probably could have emailed her and asked, but I'm assuming part of it is the fact that I wasn't actually accepted by that point. I did the interview and it wasn't accepted yet. So then they asked me to another interview, and I don't think the interview really went, like the second interview went as well as, honestly, I did not think the first one went well at all. So I thought the second one was better, but I still don't think it was that great. But anyway, so I did that. I ended up not getting that assistantship. Then I did an interview with the Greek housing, which is very unique. We don't have that at UNLV or at UNR. I did an interview with them, and it went really well, I guess. I didn't think it went that well, but it went well. They were really, really nice. For whatever reason, they thought somebody else was a better fit, so I didn't get it. I think through this whole process, I've kind of learned to not be bitter. Just because I don't get a position doesn't mean that I won't. Like the other person, it works for them too, right? They're still in the position of needing one. So I got to this point after I did those two interviews, and I realized that, I had to start being realistic. So I applied to some jobs here in Reno, and just started thinking that I would attend UNR in the spring, because I am bitter about the fact that they changed their application deadline, because your girl was going to apply. I could have started school here, but it's fine, whatever, we're good. The story ends well. I emailed the woman at the University of Arkansas and said, hey, I haven't found an assistantship yet. Is there, do they ever happen in the spring? If so, when is my deadline to defer my admissions until the spring, so on and so forth. And she basically just replied hey, understand, answered all my questions. Then she emailed me last Thursday. It's the 28th today. So she emailed me a week and a day ago and was like, hey, Shani, would you be able to have a phone conversation about a new assistantship that came up? And I was like, yeah, of course. Here's my phone number. Here's the best times for me. She wanted to either talk on Friday, last Friday, or this Monday. And so I never heard from her on Friday. She never emailed me back. I emailed her on Monday, and I said, if you're still interested in talking about this assistantship, just give me a call whenever. I don't really care when, right? I didn't hear from her, and obviously people usually work 8 to 5. So I figured it was past 5, probably wasn't going to work out. And then she called me at 4 p.m. Nevada time, which is 2 hours ahead of Arkansas, so it's 6 p.m. their time. I don't know if she's still in the office. I have no idea what's going on. So she called me and she explained that her department, so the College of Education and Health Professions, is looking for a graduate assistant, and that she thinks I'd be a good fit. And she kind of just explained that I'd be helping her and a couple other professors in the department do research, and specifically spend 10 hours a week with her working on anything for the higher education program, etc. And then she started talking about paperwork, you have to get the paperwork finished. And like I said with Kansas, you kind of get to this point of oh no, you'll get accepted, you'll get accepted. And I was like, hold on, we're not going to start talking about paperwork until we've gone through this whole process. I've gone through so many interviews. I've gone through this process with so many different schools. I'm not about to automatically think that it's going to work out for me. I was like, okay, well, is there like an interview process, or how is this going to work? She was like, oh no, the offer's extended, it's yours. I was like, what? I literally panicked. I think my heart rate jumped from like 86, 85, and it jumped to like 108. I started sweating. I was like, I really didn't have words. I think there were so many things I was thinking of, if I can make it work, if this was going to happen, all these different things. And so I was like, okay, well, can I have like till tomorrow to let you know? She said, yeah, do you think you can get back to me by Tuesday at 5? I was freaking out because I got to this point, like I said, of accepting the fact that I was not going to go to grad school this semester. I wasn't going to get an assistantship somewhere else. It just didn't seem like it was going to be working out right now. And I got to this point of kind of letting everything go and accepting it, right? And kind of moving forward with my life. And then all of a sudden, everything flips upside down and we're in this limbo of like, I have the opportunity to have an assistantship that gives me all of the things that I wanted, and I have to decide if I can do it, if it's possible. I took that whole 24 hours to make the decision. I got to this point of, I don't know what to do. So I emailed her at like 2:55 or like 2:58, which is 3 minutes before 5 o'clock in Arkansas. And I was like, you know what? I accept your offer. So basically, I am going to be attending the University of Arkansas in the fall. I'm super excited. This is only a year appointment, so it ends in June of next year. Hopefully, I'll be able to get an assistantship within Greek life or within the Greek realm. She seems super supportive of that. It's always hard when you're going into assistantship interview or a job interview and it's like you're capable of doing it, but that's not really like the path that you're going on. Honestly, everyone so far that I've had contact with within the department has been super helpful, super understanding, super nice, and I think it's because I've only had 3 weeks to kind of like get my life together and get to Arkansas. I'm nervous, of course. I think the way I can explain it is like I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also terrified. I just, you know what I mean? Like I said, I didn't expect this to happen right now, so I kind of got into this comfort zone of figuring life out here, and then it was just like cut in half, diced and shredded, and now we're here. I think it'll be a really amazing experience, and one of the deciding factors I think for me is I imagine saying no, and if I know that if I didn't accept it, I would have regretted it. I would have, sending emails, no, yes, it would have been a lot less stressful, but this is what I want, and the fact of like me saying no, it just kind of puts me off my path, right? Like I'm given the opportunity to do this and follow this path that I've been pursuing, and the fact that if I said no, it would have kind of been me hindering moving forward, and I didn't want to do that. I said yes. I leave on August 11th, so in 2 weeks I will be moving across the country. They have a Chipotle there. I also think I found the only Aussie Delta in the entire state of Arkansas, and she actually goes to the University of Arkansas and is in the same program. She's just a year ahead of me. Killing it. But everyone always kept asking me like, oh, did you hear about grad school? What's going on with grad school? I'll let you know when I know. So this is me letting you know when I know. TBH, I found out on Tuesday. I accepted on Tuesday. I signed my offer letter yesterday. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully this explains quite a bit. And I'll see you later.